Bucks looking to win their fourth consecutive game. Tip-off there, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for Chinwag about those early games, let's now welcome in the coach, NBA champion Avery Johnson. Coach, the Nets have KD back, but it wasn't enough Thursday night in a game that would have been an ideal win against the conference leaders. The Celtics, slight favorites here. What kind of game are you expecting?
Yes, the Celtics are the favorites here, and deservedly so. And even though the Nets are going to be getting Kyrie Irving back, who was last seen about 4 games ago when he had 38 points at Milwaukee, I just don't think it's going to be enough to overcome a very hot Celtics team. It was good to see KD back on the floor, mixing up his game. But the Celtics, with Brown and Tatum, that combination, I just don't think the Nets have enough defense on the wings to slow those guys down. You look at Tatum, his scoring ability on and off the ball, even if he and KD neutralizes each other and Brown and Kyrie neutralizes each other, I think the others, Derek White coming over in the trade from San Antonio. So this is going to be a close one, but I see Boston prevailing in this game.
Yeah, Celtics are averaging 117 points per game in each of their last 4 wins, but they're giving up just over 100. So the total there is set at 225 and a hook. All right, the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks have been rolling since the All-Star break. They've won their past 3, and Giannis is leading the way, 7 straight double-doubles. They are the favorites against the Suns, but the visitors coming in off a good win Friday night against the Knicks, Coach.
Yeah, good win for the Suns against the Knicks. But again, anything we say about the Knicks, and I know we're going to get to them in a minute, it really doesn't mean anything when you beat the Knicks. They're so porous this year. But when you look at Phoenix playing without Chris Paul and also Devin Booker against this big 3 of Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis, I don't think it's going to be enough. Cam Johnson had a big game, 38 points. And I know the University of North Carolina product is happy that his Tar Heels beat Duke in Coach Krzyzewski's last game. But I see the Milwaukee Bucks steamrolling the Suns. I got them winning, covering. I think they're going to win by double digits at home, get revenge for that early season loss against the Suns.
Yeah, almost double-digit favorites when they met in early February. The Suns blew them out, though, winning by 24 points. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Well, the 6 NBA games in the evening window Sunday, including Ja Morant and Memphis, who jumped in second place in the conference on Saturday. They're in Houston to face the sliding Rockets. Utah goes into their game feeling angry after losing by 34 to New Orleans on Friday, their worst loss since 2018. And the Cavaliers have lost 6 of their last 7. They welcome Toronto. The hosts blew a 21-point lead on Friday night in the loss to the Sixers. And New Orleans, coming off that big win Friday, take on a surging Denver team that has 7 of their past 8 in terms of wins, and with and without Nikola Jokic. All right, so we start with the late tip-off, though. Knicks and the Clippers, and 2 teams headed in very different directions here, Coach.
Yeah, very different directions. The Knicks is arguably the most disappointing team in the NBA this year. It was Atlanta during the first half of the season, but Atlanta's kicked it into gear. The Knicks are 6 games behind Atlanta for that play-in game. And give the Clippers credit. Reggie Jackson has been phenomenal, scoring the ball. They've played without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard this year. They're a hot team. Defensively, they've improved, but the Knicks, Julius Randle's taken a step backwards. They haven't had much bench help, but again, this man Reggie Jackson has been phenomenal, especially in the close parts of the game. The last 2 minutes of the game, he's been the Clippers' go-to man. Tyrone Lewis really figured out his rotations, so I don't expect anything short of a Los Angeles win. And even though I think it may be a little bit closer than expected, the Clippers will win this game, and I think they'll cover by 5 or more.
Yeah, the Clippers 5-point favorites coming in. The Knicks have lost 7 straight. Clippers have won 5 in a row, including 7 of the past 8. All right, the game between the Cavs and the Raptors is a big one in terms of the playoff picture. The Raptors sitting 2 games back of Cleveland in the East, sitting in 7th spot. The Cavs slight favorites at home here, Coach.
Yeah, and it's slight favorites. Unfortunately, the Cavs have got Darius Garland back there, all-star, really developed this year. Evan Mobley, Toronto, they're 0-2 against Cleveland this year. I don't see anything changing. I see the Cleveland, who's been struggling a little bit post All-Star break. So I see Cleveland playing well. They're big guys, their front line. Those guys really cover a lot of ground. They block a lot of shots. Toronto, they like to drive the basketball. So I see Cleveland defending the rim. Fred VanVleet is obviously a tough cover for Toronto, but I see the Cavaliers playing well at home and dominating in this game and defending their home court.
Yeah, the Cavs have kind of come back down to earth since the All-Star break, sitting at 4.5-point favorites. This would be a nice win for them on Sunday. Well, this has been a disappointing season for New Orleans, but they've won 4 straight, including wins at Phoenix and the Lakers, and they're coming off a blowout win of Utah at home. How do you like this matchup versus Denver, Coach?
Well, it's funny, in this series, the road team has won every game. The Denver's won 2 in New Orleans, and New Orleans has won earlier in February in Denver. So I'm going with the road team. I'm going with the hot team. New Orleans is a hot team right now. Ingram has been playing like an all-star like he was last year. Obviously, DeMarcus Cousins had a great game in his last game, filling in for Jokic. But think about this. When you talk about Herb Jones, the rookie, who's going to be first team all rookie, one of the best defenders in the league, Donovan Mitchell said, I think he was 0 for 10 when Herb Jones was guarding him in that last game against Utah. I see that same type of defense travels. You look at the trade that New Orleans made for McCollum for CJ. He's been outstanding. I think the road team wins again.
Yeah, they've really had a nice fit with McCollum coming in. Denver's won 2 of the 3 meetings, as you mentioned. Both of those on the road. Had a chance to win the season series. Should be a good one in Denver. And lastly, let's talk about Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. They're 8 games back of West leading Utah with 17 games to go, but a lot more to prove. Now, they blew out the Magic on Saturday night after losing that game on Thursday. They're double-digit favorites versus the Rockets. I mean, this seems pretty straightforward here, Coach.
And Jeremy, I don't know why I decided to play against Murray State and this young man named Ja Morant when I was coaching in college. Why did I make such a foolish mistake? This kid scored 40 points on us. He was sensational. He's still sensational. This kid, should be a little bit higher in the MVP running, with guys like DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid. Ja Morant has just been phenomenal. The Rockets have struggled all year. I think they've lost, on this losing streak, they've lost every game by an average of 15 points. I don't expect anything different unless for some reason, the Grizzlies, they were up too late last night in places that they shouldn't have been in Houston. Otherwise, if they've gotten their rest, they should blow out the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets, I think they started shipping cards. They're not going anywhere. Their season is over. So give Memphis the significant edge. They should put on a show. Ja Morant shouldn't even play in the 4th quarter in this game.
Another show from Ja coming up. He is the coach, our NBA champion, Avery Johnson, breaking down the action on the way on Sunday. Thanks, Coach. With less than 20 games to go, the race for playoff positioning and a possible NBA title is heating up. Here are the latest odds to win it all in the association. The Suns are your favorites alongside the Warriors at plus 450.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.